Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. My name is Salom Adonu. Tonight I'm here with
Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
We should not waste the taxpayers' money by asking us to come to Parliament in the next 3 weeks. We are not coming. We are concerned about elections, and we shall only come to Parliament after the election.
Member of the NDC minority in Parliament serves notice that the side will not return to Parliament until after the December polls. What is the implication of this position, if any, on government business? We'll tell you more. Also coming up.
People who are going to vote for Mamia Kwadonko, who is also, we are all aware that she is not alive. So how are they going to do the counting at the end of the day? We don't want confusion at the end of the day. Then we have to take their party from the ballot.
The Liberal Party of Ghana has urged the Electoral Commission, contrary to its stated position, to reprint fresh ballot papers without the image of deceased GFP candidate Madam Equia Donko to avoid confusion on election day. Do you agree? More later on this. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, 24 days to election 2024. We will do some whistle stops with the major candidates in the race to update you on what they have been up to. Stay with 97.3 City FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
banking sector stakeholders question BOG's competence following suspension of CBG.
There is more business in the next 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates and around the globe at citynewsroom.com. In the Western region, this is Adrimpa 100.7 FM, in Takwa Beach 105.5 FM, in Takrady, and in the Bono region, Greener 95.9 FM, in Sunyani. In the Shanti region, this is Adrimpa 99.9 FM at Inkawe. In the Volta region, Heritage 107.3 FM, in Hohoe, and Freedom 88.1 FM at Sogakope. In the northern region, this is Radio Gaki 88.3 in Saboba. And in the upper east region, Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And the northeast region, Nobia 98.1 FM at Narilugu. Your comments are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. You can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Selom Adonu. The hashtag, as always, a City Newsroom. Howard gives us our very first story.
The Member of Parliament for Ododo in the Greater Accra region, Nilante van der Poel, has stated that the minority caucus will not return to Parliament even if the majority caucus initiate a recall of the House. The MP stressed that the NDC caucus remains indifferent to the Supreme Court's ruling, which declared the Speaker's declaration of 4 vacant seats as illegal and unconstitutional. In an interview with City News, the MP also criticized Majority Leader Alexander Peña-Markin for claiming that the majority would now engage the Speaker to determine the next steps.
The Supreme Court has ruled, it's fine. Every Ghanaian has that responsibility to respect the ruling of any court of competent jurisdiction. Every Ghanaian has the right to also appeal against any decision of a court. But in this ruling, we in the NDC have nothing in this case. We were not going to court, we are not a party to a suit, we are not any of the defendants in this case. We don't have anything to do with this case. The suit was on the Speaker. So it's the Speaker who has the right to determine whether he will want to respect the decision of the Supreme Court or not. As far as we are concerned, we, as we speak, are the majority in Parliament because the ruling and the information that was given by the Speaker to the plenary on that day has been waived. If judgment has been taken by the Supreme Court, that judgment should be effected on the Speaker of Parliament so that the Speaker of Parliament will come to the House. Because decisions affecting Parliament are taken in the House of Parliament and not on the Supreme Court. So whatever decision the Supreme Court has, so whatever orders the Supreme Court has given will be served on the Speaker. And the Speaker is so minded, he will come to the House and review his decision that he made. And as far as we are concerned, we are coming back to the House only after the elections on December 7th. We are not coming to the House to do anything now because we are busy with our elections and our conferences.
Honorable, hold on a minute.
God cannot come.
If Speaker Babin calls you in the next few days, the minority is not coming back to the House?
Even when the Speaker calls us, we have the right to say we will not report. Because by the timetable of Parliament, we're supposed to go on recess so that we can have time for our elections and our conferences. Note, our vacation is our vacation. We have the right to decide that we want to take our vacation and not report to Parliament. If we have moved a motion to come to Parliament, we are also have the right to move a motion and say we are not coming to Parliament because of the importance of the elections in our various conferences. So, as far as we are concerned, if they want us to talk about anything like coming to Parliament, they should not waste the taxpayers' money by asking us to come to Parliament in the next three weeks. We are not coming. We are concerned about elections, and we shall only come to Parliament after the elections. That is one. I want them to take that, and that should be at the back of their mind. We are not coming anywhere around Parliament until after the elections. Two, we want them to understand one fact, that as far as we are concerned, issues about minority or majority are determined by the numbers in the House. So when we resume, the numbers will tell whether we are the majority or they are the majority. This is not about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, the case which went to the Supreme Court is there. But our standing orders and the Constitution tells us what constitutes majority and minority. It is not for the MPP or the Supreme Court to define for us who are the majority or minority in Ghana's Parliament. We have our own procedures of determining who is a majority or who is a minority. When they were declared majority by Speaker Babi, did they go to the Supreme Court to see that declaration? Yeah. So the truth of the matter is that we don't have any interest in the suit. We don't care whatever decision has been given by the Supreme Court. That's between them. That's between the Supreme Court and the Speaker and Afenyo Maki, who went to the...
That was the Member of Parliament for Ododo in the Greater Accra region, Nilante Vanderpoy.
All right, let's subject these views to some analysis. Dr. Rashid Rahman is Executive Director for the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, ACEPA. Hello, good evening, Doc. Welcome to Eyewitness News. We are 4 weeks or less to election. The MPs, at least the NDC MPs, say they have elections to run and win. And so they will not come to Parliament anytime soon until after the election. Is this a reasonable position for the minority to hold? Hello, sir. Hello, good evening, Dr. Rashid Rahman. Hello? Well, we don't appear to have Dr. Rashid Rahman on the line. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. The minority, at least one of them, the Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy, as we heard him speak, he said that the minority is not reporting to Parliament anytime soon, even if Speaker calls them to come to Parliament for business. They are not coming because they have an election to run and they have an election to win. And indeed, he made the point that per the timetable of Parliament, they are supposed to be on recess anytime soon. And so when Speaker calls them in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they are not coming because they have an election to run. What do you think of this position? Is this a position, does this position sound justifiable to you? What do you think really? Let's try and see once again if Dr. Rashid Rahman can hear us. Hello, Doc. Good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Hello, good evening, Doc. We don't appear to have Dr. Rahman on the line. We're working the lines to sort out this technical hitch so we can have his input in respect of this particular matter. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. So you may recall, some situations have been happening in Parliament in recent times. About 3 weeks ago, October 17, the Speaker of Parliament declared some forces vacant because those 4 persons were either running as independent candidates in the upcoming election or one going into the election on the ticket of the NPP. Prior to that declaration, the majority leader, Afenyo Maki, had gone to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation of Article 97(1) G and H. That was the article the Speaker interpreted and declared the seats vacant, and it's been a matter in Parliament which we had finality to yesterday in the Supreme Court ruling 5-2, declaring that Afenyo Maki's position is what pertains, and the Speaker erred in declaring those seats vacant. So now, as in response, a member of the minority, the Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy, has said that the minority will not return to Parliament until after the election, and we've been trying to speak to the Dr. Rashid Rahman, who is Executive Director of the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs. Let's try once again if we will have him. Hello, good evening, Doc. Well, we don't have him. So that's the situation. Your messages are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996 054 986 996. I'll take a short break. I'll return and we'll give you more. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Hi, Aku. I just got the estimate for the home repairs. It's more than we expected. I'm really stressed about where to find the money.
Why worry, Musa? You are a salaried worker. Haven't you heard about the GCB personal loan promo? They can give you up to 700,000 Ghana cedis in less than 24 hours at a significantly reduced interest rate and fees.
Really? This sounds exciting, but is it easy to apply?
Super easy. Skip the stress. Get the cash with the GCB personal loan promo with a 1-month repayment holiday. Just visit a GCB bank branch near you or call 0302
Instagram at instagram.com/city973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. A few of your messages that have come through to us. Here, the NDC caucus in Parliament must accept the Supreme Court ruling and return to Parliament. Ghanaians deserve better service from our elected leaders. I am highly disappointed by the comments by Nilante Vanderpool. This is Delanyo Agbe in Peduasi. This one from Gastiman in Brekum says, the arrogance and disrespectful attitude towards the Supreme Court because of power will come to an end within 3 weeks. The Speaker, Bagbin, will lose his so-called number 3 power position. He has forgotten that no condition is permanent indeed. The position of the minority MPs in Parliament is posthumously detrimental to the next generation of Parliament and also marks of contempt of the Supreme Court of Ghana. Whoever is in legal advisory seat of the minority is absolutely misleading them, and they ought to be called to order. So the minority has an election to win and run the next parliament like this. Yakubi bin Chambers in Wali Wali says. This one says, from Francis says, we give too much attention to people in parliament and reason why they behave like demigods. Let our media give farmers more attention for they feed the country. Nuti Fafa from our flowers says, I fully support Honorable Vanderpool's position on not going back to the House until elections are over. NDC must not allow themselves to be bullied by the Supreme Court. Enough is enough. GM for president, you say. We'll continue to read some of your messages in due course. But now, let's return to our other headline story. The flag bearer of the Liberal Party of Ghana, Kofi Akpaloo, has urged the Electoral Commission to reprint the presidential ballot papers for the 2024 elections, citing concerns over the presence of deceased Ghana Freedom Party candidate Ekuya Donko on the ballot. Mr. Akpaloo argues that retaining Ekuya Donko's image could impact the outcome of the election. He further contends that if a new flag bearer for the GFP had been approved to contest, the EC would have reprinted the ballots to reflect this change. He made this demand at a press conference, earlier today. We are joined on the line by Kofi Akpaloo, who is the flag bearer of the LPG, to help us appreciate this position better. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Your claim is that allowing or leaving or retaining the Kradonko on the ballot paper may occasion confusion in the minds of voters, and that it will impact on the outcome of the election. How exactly do you mean, sir?
What I mean is that if we retain the Kradonko on the ballot, already some people in this country have made their mind they are not going to vote. So such people may just rise up and say we are going to vote, but this time they are going to vote for Kradonko, knowing very well Kradonko is on the ballot. Now, when people vote for Kradonko, you cannot come back and tell me that is a stored ballot, because there's nothing like stored ballot when you vote for a candidate. So that candidate's vote is definitely going to be counted, and then it will be added to the total valid vote count. Now, somebody also argue and say, no, you cannot include the Kradonko's own to it. Depending on who is going to be favored, will date either inclusion or exclusion. So to avoid this argument, we better remove a Kradonko from the ballot, and then we have only 12 candidates on the ballot. So everybody who is going there to vote, you know that is voting for a candidate that is valid from the ballot. We need to avoid the tension that this can bring in this country. Having a Kradonko on the ballot, I don't see why we should keep it on the ballot. I don't know what it's going to do for us. So we should take it out and then maintain the 12 valid candidates. And that's my request.
I see. But yes, if anybody votes for a Kradonko, that ballot will be spot or invalid. I mean, that's how it is, because a dead person can obviously not be president, and so the EC has said they were going to educate the public to make them know that that candidate doesn't exist, and so if you go ahead and cast your ballot for that person or that for her, that ballot will not count. That's as clear as it can be. That's not clear enough for the LPG.
Well, that's the discretion of the Electoral Commission. But the discretion of the Electoral Commission will never stand in the court of law. So when you go to court, there's going to be different interpretations. So we need to avoid that situation. Like what did Mike Okoye Senior did, because in his own discretion, he thought that the former Fomena MP at the 7th Parliament shouldn't have, because he's switched camp, or he was going to contest on the next election as an independent candidate, automatically he shouldn't be in Parliament. So he removed him. But he is. But nobody contested that. So what has happened this time, Abababin tried to do the same thing. People are going to court for interpretation. And look at what is going on. So please, anything that would bring confusion in this country, let's avoid it. Let's take her out. Because when we take her out, it will not damage this country any way anyhow. So please, let's take her out. Some people will argue by saying that, already stated about 90% of the ballots. So, going to cause the state money. Yes, I'm aware they're going to cause the state money. Assuming the candidates the party proposed to replace the president are so true, are we not going to place a ballot for that new candidate? Or are we going to keep the party place there? No. Now, my opinion is that because the Ferroco is coming from a smaller party, so we think it's not important. If it has happened to any of the big party candidates, maybe Mahama or Baumia, pass away, that would have happened. They would definitely have replaced that candidate.
Yes, I think the position is the same. If it had happened to any of the bigger parties, the EC would have still given those parties the opportunity they gave the GFP to replace their candidate. They replaced the candidate, only that the candidate failed to meet the requirements by law, and so the candidate was disqualified.
Me and you know that if MPP and DZ are called to replace a candidate, definitely there's no way that they're going to bounce.
No, I don't know. Maybe you know. I don't know. What I know is that the Electoral Commission works with its rules and regulations, and that's what they work with.
Pass that candidate goes for it, and then you have called for a new ballot paper printed. So with this, we cannot sit and allow the EC to do what they have proposed. No, it's not going to benefit anybody. We need to repaint the whole ballot, and then we have a clean ballot. We have 1 month to an election, and you are saying that we cannot print another ballot. Why?
But if this situation had happened maybe 24 hours to the election, would the opposition have remained the same?
No, it will still be the same in the sense that we will oppose the election, and then because that's what the law requires, you oppose the election and then do what is needful.
So, I mean, are you willing to test this particular matter in court? Are you willing to test it in court so we see what the court will say in respect of this matter?
We have asked the EC to do the needful. So if they insist to do whatever they want to do, we'll go to court and test it.
I see. This is notwithstanding the fact that the EC had said it will embark on an education drive to educate the people of Ghana not to waste their vote on that particular candidate because the candidate is no more.
So far as we all went to school and we all started school the same way, but when we wrote exams, some people failed and some people passed. No matter what education we will render, some people will still not hear, they will not understand. They will go ahead and do and go for government. So let's avoid, let's take her out, and then the money that you are going to use to do that education, use it to everything.
I see. Thanks so much, Kofi Apalo. Maybe before you go, how's your campaign going? I mean, we've not seen much of you. We've only had a few adverts here and there saying that you will cause the cultivation of marijuana and things for industrial use, etc. I mean, how is your campaign going, really?
Oh yeah, it's going very well. It's going very, very well. We are all over the country. We are campaigning, and people are receiving our messages. And I can tell you, we're going to do a surprise in this election.
I see. And so, I mean, what's your expectation? Are you winning? Are you throwing the election into a runoff? I mean, what are we expecting to see from you on December 7th?
I'm winning the election. I'm winning the election because majority of Ghanaians that will be able to reach out to me. Because the message is clear. Every child below 18 years will receive 500 cedis every month. And those above 18 who are unemployed will receive 700 cedis. So we are pumping money into the system to generate demand activity to create jobs. And people are happy to hear something of that. And they are ready to vote for us. So many people made their mind they're not going to vote. But because of the message, they decided to change and vote for RPG.
Well, what's the message, really? What's the message?
Oh, the message is a better tomorrow, a new plan for jobs and work creation. That every child below 18 years will receive a monthly allowance of 500 cedis. And those above 18 years who are unemployed will receive 700 cedis every month. This is to put money directly in people's pocket. Education is going to be free from primary school to university level. This is what we are telling the people. And we're going to create jobs because we are setting up a $10 billion job fund to enable our young men and women who are unemployed to get jobs to do. And then the message is that we are going to create at least 1 million new entrepreneurs before 2028.
All right. Thank you so much. Kofi Apalu is the flag bearer of the Liberal Party of Ghana. He said he may go to court to get the EC to reprint fresh ballots. They have actually said they've extended some information to the EC to actually tell them to reprint the ballots. As you may well know, the EC yesterday at IPAC made this point clear that they were going ahead with the completion of the printing of the ballot papers with Ekweadonko's picture and name on it because the candidate Ekweadonko's party replaced or sought to replace her with failed the requirement test and so was disqualified on legal grounds. They said, we don't know what grounds exactly, but they said on legal grounds. Let's say the EC boss.
Would like to inform you that the balloting, the printing will proceed on the current ballot as is in the interest of time and to save this country millions of cedis. And so our task here this morning is very simple. We are not here to change positions. We are not here to reballot. We are simply here to inform you that the Commission intends to notify our printing houses to proceed with the presidential ballot as is. It will proceed with the ballot that bears the name and the image of the name of the Ghana Freedom Party. They are simple and the image of Madam Ekweadonko. And we believe that a lot of discussions and advertisements will go out to prevent the citizenry from.
So that was Madam Jean Mensah, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, addressing the matter of Ekweadonko. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Hawa has some more stories.
Now, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has refuted claims that his presidency would enable Fulani herdsmen to damage farmland. This is in reaction to what he says is propaganda by the NDC that voting for him will encourage people of the Fulbe tribe, who are his in-laws, to be lawless. While campaigning in a Dumasi in the Ashanti region, Dr. Bawumia assured constituents that under his leadership, Ghana's laws would be applied equally and fairly to all citizens regardless of their background.
Now the NDC is running propaganda that my reign will permit Fulanis to destroy their farmlands. But that will never happen. We will never allow it to happen. The law will deal with each and everybody. So please do not listen to such propaganda.
You heard the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mohamed Ubamia. Let's still stay with the party because it says the 24-hour economy policy promised by the NDC is a hollow policy designed to hoodwink voters. According to the NPP, the NDC has failed to explain the pathway towards a thriving 24-hour economy with 24 days to elections. The NPP is therefore urging Ghanaians to trust the practicable solutions proposed by Dr. Bawumia and vote for the party. Director of Communications for the NPP, Richard Anyagba, addressed a press conference earlier today.
The conditions necessary for implementing such a policy is not here. The condition necessary for implementing any 24-hour economy is a functioning or performing economy. So therefore, even if you are dreaming of a 24-hour economy, you must first of all tell us the way to that is your daytime economic policy. How you're going to manage the economy to create the extra demand that will drive that we need to produce more, and so therefore let's work 12 hours more, let's work 24 hours and work 18 hours. It is not just a question of I want to do. No, it's not wishful thinking. It's not wishful thinking. And so therefore the NDC is fraudulently putting the 24 hours economy in the domain to leave it as a conversation that will be tumbling up and down, and they hope to benefit from it.
Director of Communications for the NPP, Richard Anyagba, to the camp of the NDC and its flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, has promised to recruit community health volunteers across Ghana to conduct house-to-house visits and monitor the health of individuals. According to John Mahama, this initiative will help detect and address minor health issues before they develop into more serious conditions. He stressed that the move is part of his broader commitment to improving healthcare access and outcomes across the country.
We're going to have community health volunteers in every community, and they'll go from house to house to talk to our people about their health and also identify any health issues like breast cancer, like other cervical cancers and others, so that they can make a quick referral to the nearest health facility. Many Ghanaians, the initiative aims to expand access and prevent minor illnesses from escalating into severe health issues that require costly hospital treatment. In addition, we'll launch the Ghana Medical Care Trust, also known as Mahama Cares, to support the management of chronic diseases such as kidney disease, diabetes, cancer, hypertension, sickle cell diseases. This is going to be a trust into which dedicated funds will be put, and that there will be funding from other sources, including private institutions.
That was the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Your messages are coming in thick and fast. This one from Abeku says, with the demise of Ekuya Donko, if anyone still votes for her, then such a person doesn't even deserve to vote at all. Just cross Ekuya Donko's face boldly with a black ink and let's move on. Babamu Intamale says the call made by the Liberal Party flag bearer is a step in the right direction. I think the EC should do the needful by removing the deceased person from the ballot paper. This one says, I predicted way back in June, July of 2021 that this parliament will mess up and head the people in an unprecedented way. Both the NDC and MPP plus the Akufo-Addo Jubilee House are a group of very not so nice people. Unfortunately, you say some people are also colluding with them. Elvis from Sakumono says, Salam, the MPP claims to have the majority, so why don't they proceed to conduct business independently with their numbers? On the other hand, the NDC is being petty, especially given how excited they were when they were recognized as a majority. Ghana will not be negatively impacted as election day is near. Daniel Atia in Dansuman says, good evening, Salom. I absolutely support the views of the new majority NDC in Parliament. I thought the Supreme Court has spoken on that. Nati Bright from Mamponting in the Kwabre East municipality of the Ashanti region says, we saw this coming and I don't think the NDC MPs will kowtow to what the Supreme Court has ruled, but will listen only to the Speaker. And as it stands, the Speaker too will not succumb to the court order too. The future, you say, is indeed pregnant. Christian Ameko in Pong says the Supreme Court is wrong in their judgment because the Constitution says shall vacate, which means that they don't have to wait until the end of Parliament. The Speaker should appeal the judgment. Jones Adoboy in La says, good evening. There are so many ways to kill a cat. After the market, the Supreme Court can score themselves 5-2. But they can't. But what they can't do is force the NDC parliamentarians or NDC MPs to Parliament. From General Ortega, I'm shocked at the speed with which this case was discharged on the grounds of representation. The people of Sal have their case pending since 2021 and yet paying tax to the government. You said you feel ashamed as a Democrat. This one says, good evening, City FM. This is Indinap Isaku Avoka watching you live from Tampani. I think the majority leader should be seriously campaigning to win his constituency and stop disturbing the peace of the Speaker. We'll take a short break. Return with more. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you